going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Wizards Outlook. As always, got Raymond, Lyons, Cardell, Dudley Jr., and Wilson Tarpeh Jr. We're going to start with yesterday's game, just to mention what happened. The Wizards, by beating the Rockets tonight, won back-to-back games. Hasn't occurred very many times this season. I believe just one previous time. They beat the Celtics on Sunday, 104-91. And they did that by, believe it or not, actually playing defense. Went a long way. Guess what happens? Us screaming our heads off about defense. It actually matters. Go figure. They did a great job playing defense. It led to a good win. The ball was hopping on offense, and, there's nothing wrong with that. Tonight, it was John Wall's return to D.C. Obviously, would have been a little bit different with fans in the building. Clearly, we're in a pandemic. That cannot happen. But the Wizards did beat the Rockets 131-119. Cardell, we'll start with you. Your initial thoughts on this one tonight.
I just feel like Washington size, their bench scoring, and, three-point shooting, that was the difference in the game. That's how Washington pulled it out. Obviously, John Wall was on a mission. He kind of, it's kind of a situation where, you go back, your ex-girlfriend dumps you, you run across it later in life, and you're doing better. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it is what it is, and it's regret there. You know what I mean? I know, and like we keep saying, this has nothing to do with Russ. He was just involved with the trade, but we keep saying this, man. Even though he had a triple-double, it was clear that who got the better end of that, right? It is what it is, So, they split the series because of that, but John looked like John. But the bench was the difference, man. The Rockets were outscored. The Wizards outscored the Rockets 47-24. Bertans finally had a game where he validated the contract, shot well from three. Kind of got the separation that Washington was looking for early on. 6 of 8 from the field, 5 of 6 from three for 18 points. That's what they paid him for. The dude that had numbers like that had that type of efficiency. I also feel like Wiz size bothered him. Lopez, Mo Wagner, definitely those two. Denny, was scrapping and whatnot, but definitely Mo and Lopez just doing the dirty work, moving bodies, and just even if they didn't get the rebound, tipping it out where Washington can save possessions, just doing little things like that. And it's no coincidence that since Mo Wagner been starting, they won 2 in a row because he's an irritant. He does all the dirty stuff. He irritates guys. Yeah, he does. Saying he gets on the guy's skin and whatnot. So, and you kind of need a guy like that on your team to win games. That's not afraid to mix it up or whatnot. Because what we've been saying about the Wizards for most of the season, that S word has been thrown around, and he kind of days that a little bit where it's not so obvious. Especially for the starting lineup. I love his energy also, he comes in and he's just scrappy, everywhere, yelling, doing all the things. And one thing I'm starting to notice with him defensively, he's getting better being in the right spots. And he's saving them on possessions, man. So he does the little things that don't show up in the box score, but helps your team wins. That's why Mo Wagner is starting. Also in the second half, 5 turnovers. That's just incredible for Washington, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy efficiency controlling the ball and not giving Houston chances to try to get on in transition and get second chances at trying to score when they miss or if they turn the ball over. I just think it allowed Washington to be more efficient. Guys can stay in rhythms and get in rhythms, and that's how they kept the lead, man. So, kudos to Washington. Got 2 wins in a row. Just a good all-around performance from them.
Right.
Yeah, I like Mo and Garrison Matthews starting and having Davis Bertans and Denny coming in off the bench. Like I feel like Mo Wagner and Garrison Matthews, they're able to match energy and intensity of the opposing team starting lineup a little better, and that gets the Wizards off to a better start. As opposed to, them just really just getting pushed around and outworked. Both of those guys, they're going to do the, like Cardell said, they're going to do the dirty work. They're going to make hustle plays. They're going to be bothersome, and they're going to get up in the other team. And you need that type of energy coming out the gate, in order to just try to take control of the game or at least keep pace. Yeah, the Wiz bench was huge. I think, they as a team, they just didn't show any fear or hesitance to attack Houston because they're shorthanded, they're a wounded team, and that's what you do. You pounce on them. And they did that. Brad attacked the rim with no regard for anybody down there. Basically if Cousins wasn't in the game, then they're just really, really small. So and the Wizards took advantage of that. Also in the second half, they played better defense than they did in the first half. They gave up 69 points in the first half. Luckily they were still winning by 3. But in the second half they only gave up 50. And and they shot the ball well. Them taking care of the ball in the second half was paramount. It just kind of led to them still being able to have some type of offensive continuity, as opposed to the first half, the game was kind of disjointed. It was like just a march to the free throw line for a lot of it. But yeah, man, it was overall a good game for them. Their second win in a row. They might can string a couple more of these together. Who knows what'll happen. But yeah, it was obvious what John Wall had on his mind. I really think it would have been worse with fans in the building. He would have just soaked up all that energy. They played that little video pregame. He looked like he wasn't even interested, man. He's like, let's just get busy, man. I got a point to prove. Yeah, right. Yeah,
I hate those videos. It's
especially with the way with how his exit was. Don't even do it.
Speaking of exit, where was he at? Where was the man that sent out the tweet? Where was he at? See how they be, man? See?
Yeah,
See?
man, yeah, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, that, like you said, Cardell, it was obvious who won that trade. 22-7 in the first half. They couldn't do nothing with him.
First round pick too.
Jesus. So yeah, man, they basically set themselves up for every time they got to play John Wall moving forward. Because he not gonna forget it, and with good reason. He was here for 10 years. He poured everything into the franchise, and just be cast off like that. It's gonna sting. Especially if you care and you're devoted to to the place we were playing, which he obviously was on the court and off. On the court, it's obvious he played every game hard. Off the court, he was vested in the community. So, that's gonna hurt a little bit, and it's gonna be a little extra fire every time they play them. But overall, in regards to the game, just Wiz did what they had to do, man. It's good to see them, win games they should win. And this was a game they should have won. Houston's missing Christian Woods, Victor Oladipo didn't play, Eric Gordon didn't play. They're on a losing PJ Tucker. They're on a losing streak. This is a prime time to go ahead and snatch a win from a team that's struggling, and that's what they did. So kudos to them to taking advantage of the situation.
Yeah, it's not too much more for me to add, and I'm happy. I'm not gonna be the negative one today. I'm gonna be a whole positive person, as best I can be. Like you guys pretty much mentioned already, they did what they were supposed to do. Houston's missing that many key players. You're supposed to get win at least by double digits. Should have won comfortably. You did do that. Took a little while longer than I thought it should have, but you did do that. You got stops that you needed to get, as Cardell and Ray both mentioned. You guys all mentioned in the second half. You gave up pretty much 70 in the first half, like a point shy of 70 in the first half. Give up only 50 in the second half, and you did what you're supposed to do. Like you guys mentioned, the lineup changes. I'm interested to see how the rotation changes or remains the same as some folks come back. It's easy. It's easier sometimes with rotations when people with injuries take folks out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I'm saying? It's a little less decision making to a degree because the injuries takes it out of it. But when Ish gets back healthy, I thought Neto played a fantastic game tonight with the second unit. I like his ability to be able to play off the ball, hit threes, and he does a good job when he doesn't have the ball. He got a lot of action tonight, just cutting. And playing with Russ understands that. Also gives that unit another shooter. Denny's going to be up and down. Look like a rookie again tonight. That was that. Yeah, man, like you guys mentioned with Garrison and Mo being irritants. I'm just interested to see how the rotation changes going forward. They got a tough game with the Nuggets coming up. Again, you did what you're supposed to do. You did a great job against Boston. What Boston and Houston don't have is a big on their roster, but on their roster, the caliber of what you're going to see in 2 days. It's totally different. So interested to see how Washington's front court responds to dealing with a guy who's firmly in the MVP hunt and Nikola Jokic. So, and obviously Denver has other pieces, but I'm more focused. Like even tonight, we mentioned all the thing that Washington was missing. The rebounding battle was like within one.
Mm-hmm.
Houston essentially had DeMarcus Cousins and a bunch of different size guards. Denver is a little bit bigger in the front court, so just interested to see that. But I want to hear what you guys have to say about the matchup against Denver before we get out of here.
The bigs want to play a lot better and rebound the ball. It's as simple as that. The Rockets, outside, you take Cousins and Spalding away, who they just signed, who's 6'10". The tallest player they had next was 6'6". It was everybody else was between 6'3" and 6'6". You know what I'm saying? So, the Wizards got a comfortable win, but at the same time, to me, it should have been worse, man. You should have punished them. I know they don't have those type of bigs or whatnot, but I'm just looking at the rebounding battles. Let's say, Westbrook snatched a lot, but Rui, he got 9. He did what he should do, but Mo Wagner 3. Bill had 8, but Bertans, you can't really count on him to rebound. Denny 3, Lopez 3. They're gonna have to rebound a lot, and it's not just them. With Jokic, what he can do, bringing the ball up out of the high post, low post, mid post. Everybody got to be on the string. Everybody got to be on point. And then you still got capable guys like Jamal Murray, guys, and what's my man named Porter, all those guys that can go one-on-one and make a play, get a bucket and make a play. If that does not work. So they definitely got their work cut out for them, but their bigs gonna have to show up. They're gonna have to show some resistance. Otherwise, Jokic gonna have a nasty triple-double, and more than likely the Nuggets gonna win.
Ray, your thoughts on Wednesday's matchup?
Yeah, man. Front court gonna have to eat their Wheaties because it's gonna be a whole lot of work down there. And they're gonna need to, keep pace on the boards to try to control the pace of the game. Because, if Denver gets in their flow and, and Jokic gets comfortable, then it's going to be easy pickings. They're not a good enough team where they can, they can lapse in one area and make up for it in another one. That it's just going to have to be a total, complete effort, and we know they're capable because we've seen them do it before. They're just going to have to start getting in their minds tonight and be dedicated to, the plan to their maximum ability. But you never know with this team. You don't know who you're going to trot out there. So yeah, man, get some sleep because it's going to be a tough one. Denver, they got a lot of versatile pieces. Of course, with Jokic, that's a whole problem in itself. But, you got guys like Michael Porter Jr., Will Barton, those other guys. Of course, Jamal Murray, whoever's guarding him is going to have their hands full. And they got a lot of guys that can score. And really, the Wizards pretty much have one. So that's a problem in itself. Brad Bill's going to have a monster game, and they're going to have to play defense or rebound. If all those things can happen, that remains to be seen. But if all those things can happen, then, who knows? But if any one of those things don't happen, I think it's going to be ugly.
Yeah, and then the only added caveat I'm going to throw in, they got to take care of the ball like they did tonight. In that second half, when Cardell mentioned they only turned it over 5 times. You play better teams. You cannot give them extra opportunities. The other thing, like you guys mentioned, rebounding, it would have second chance opportunities too. Houston had far too many offensive rebounds tonight for a team with a bunch of guards. But again, we will see you guys Wednesday night after Washington's game against the Nuggets. We'll see you tomorrow night for our regular scheduled Focus TV programming, as always at 8 p.m. And then on Wednesday after the Wizards game and recap, we got the G League rundown, which comes on Wednesday and Friday. So you can see a lot of us this week, as it says on the bottom of the screen. Follow us, Focus TV, whether it be IG, Twitter, Facebook, what have you. It's not that hard. You guys have a good one. We'll see you soon.